Uh, a very good evening to everyone. On behalf of Dempo Charities Trust, Srinivasa Sinai Dempo College of Commerce and Economics, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you to our faculty development program. This initiative is brought to you in collaboration with esteemed institutions such as Chanakya University, Bangalore, Choice College of Arts and Commerce, Pune, Swami Sajanand College of Commerce and Management, Gujarat, and Dempe College of Arts and Science, Goa. As we approach the final session of this faculty development program, we would like to take a moment to reflect on the journey we've shared over the past week. This has been a time of learning, growth, and collaboration, and we are thrilled to have each one of you with us. Today marks the culmination of this enriching experience. You know what they say, all good things must come to an end. But what they forget to say sometimes is every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end.
Beautiful.
It's this space between chapters that we find the strength to turn the page and write the next part of our story. To officially commence today's session, I now invite our respected principal, Dr. Manoj Kamath, to address us. Over to you, sir.
Very good evening to all of you. I'm very glad that I'm here today. And then I had the privilege of being here every day in some capacity or the other. Well, this faculty development program, the 7 days faculty development program, basically in management pedagogy, not restricted to management, but also covering broad social sciences as well, was coordinated by our very own Professor Ravindranath Nayak, along with my coordinator of the BBA, Ms. Tania Shirudkar, along with the other associate coordinator, Neha Mapari. This has been a wonderful journey for all of us because this was the first time after a long time after COVID that we have used the technology in order to get connected and learn from peers. Basically, this opportunity, as we all know, it was during our exams time when we started off this initiative. Now my teachers and students are on vacation. We thought let us use this evening time fruitfully to understand the nuances of technology and see how technology can influence our teaching, because we see and we notice that our students are well versed with the technological developments than the teachers. So, if you need to harness this technology into teaching learning and make learning more meaningful for students, we must understand how these new apps, new developments can help us, can aid us in day to day teaching. Well, it was with this intention we connected to a couple of friends of ours in the country, along with some coupling institutions who we have tied with an MOU in order to further our academic endeavor. I'm very glad to our call represented, to our call came to our rescue Sahajanand College at Bhavnagar in Gujarat Autonomous. We had Chanakya University on board from Bangalore with us. We had our own sister concern, Dempe College of Arts and Science, not forgetting the institution of my friend and great mentor, Sri from Choice College of Arts, Choice College of Arts and Commerce, Professor Ahmad talking to us, Aftab Anwar Sheikh talking to us all this while. Well, with the association of four institutions, the able team of my BBA, which happens to be one of the best teams I'm working with in Demper College, the young and energetic team of teachers and students. And you would notice that every day this program is launched, compared, as well as technically executed with by my team of four student volunteers of BBA. And I feel very glad the kind of confidence people like Andre, people like that of Vaishnavi Bhatt, Rahil Chavan, and others have shown. I read the chats, I read the interface platform on WhatsApp, where other teachers, senior teachers, also refer them as sir and madam, not knowing that they are students. The kind of confidence the students have exhibited, the kind of the thought provoking addresses these people are making, the kind of qualitative inputs these people are bringing, the technological savor of this particular four student volunteers have really added charm to our program. And when we say that this program is about teaching and learning, here we have demonstrated what Dempo PBA students are like. They are none, they are equal to the teachers. They are not anyway comparable to any of the students. And I believe that this feeling of camaraderie, this feeling of what is say get-togetherness, the kind of level of understanding between a senior most teacher like that Professor Nayak and junior students, maybe some second year students as well, joining hands with third year students and coordinating this program. This has been a wonderful learning journey for all of us. This program is, of course, a self-funded program. And let me tell you, by the end of this today's resource person stock after 1 hour, we will call it a day, and then our FDP of 7 day FDP of resource sharing and resource learning will conclude. At the end of this, from today evening onwards, we will run a quick survey. That's a feedback survey of what how we have fared so far, what are the learnings for us in the future. And I had also requested Professor Nayak to run a quick test, an MCQ kind of a test based on all the 7 sessions. And you just have to plug in your answers. The minute you do it, you answer the test based on the competencies developed in last 7 sessions. In case you have missed any of the sessions, don't worry, because we have already recorded all the 7 sessions, and these 7 sessions will be available for you throughout, so that you can always update yourself and sharpen your X. Well, after you have done your test and after you have done your feedback, the beautiful certificate certifying you attending, either completing or attending, depending upon whether you have given the test or you have not, you will get a certificate signed and endorsed by all the resource partners, all the collaborating partners, including ours. So I look forward for to all of you for earning that certificate, which you can prove as an important what is a learning certify an important phase of learning in your life, learning from experts. I'm really happy, and this program we have been able to put as many as 3 professors from IIMs. As you have seen, one professor, Professor Mathur, who has joined us from IIM Calcutta, whereas 2 professors from IIM Bangalore, two important and very erudite teachers from Manipal, Udupi, from Tapmi, from Mahe, and of course today we had also one of our most resourceful teacher, Mr. Vinod Joshua, who told us about his experimentation with digital apps for recording and delivering quality content. Today, we are joined by one of my friend and one of the most experiential teachers in the area of finance and derivatives. Professor Garag, Dr. Anil Garag has been the director of couple of management institutes in the country, giving them name and fame. And now he has joined as a senior professor and the head of the department at the Chanakya University in Bangalore. Professor Anil Garag, I'm sure, will be introduced by Aniket and Tanya separately. So I will not like to go in their biodata. But I'll tell you, in the area of finance, in the area of risk management, in the area of strategic finance and derivatives, if there is one teacher in the country who constantly experiments with number of apps, experiments with multiple studio platforms, experiments with multiple pedagogies in the area of finance, Professor Anil Garag would be rated in top 5 teachers in the area of finance and derivatives. His extensive, experience in the areas of investments, in the area of investment research, fundamental research, stock market trading, and in the area of trading of options and futures, has earned him great level of respect and a great name. So we have Anil today. Those of you who are number savvy, who are finance teachers, who are economics teachers, probably will learn a lot from experiences and experiments carried by Anil in some of the top reputed business schools in the country. So I'm very glad, Professor Nayak, your wonderful team, the Department of BBA, for one of the departments for putting such an extensive and elaborate sessions in the country, 7 days faculty development program for their own peers in the country and outside. I'm very glad that every day close to 100 of the teachers or more than 110 teachers attend. We had close to 160 registrations, but that at an odd time of 6 to 7 in the evenings, it becomes a little difficult for people. I know many faculty members contacting me and telling, sir, it sometimes becomes difficult for us to attend sessions. But we make a point to listen to recorded lectures because we all have chosen the best of resource persons in the country. And I'm very sure that with our contacts in the country and outside, this kind of faculty development programs will be a constant affair of our BBA department, a constant endeavor of BBA department, and our able team of teachers and students will be able to do it not only for the teachers, but also for the students as well. The next program which I have proposed from the Department of BBA, along with my students and Professor Ravindranath Nayak, Tania, Sneha Mapari, and all others, is an management conclave and in a hybrid mode, and specifically with reference to case teaching for all the students who could not be admitted to Tempo BBA. So whether you are working, staying, and studying with Tempo BBA or not, Tempo BBA would like to connect you in multiple ways and multiple times as the technology could help us. So wonderful evening again. Once again, it's my privilege to welcome all of you to be here for yet another episode of learning and sharing. Thank you so much. Be connected.
Thank you so much, Principal Sir. On behalf of Vaishnavi, Raheel, and Mando, I would like to thank you so much, sir. And if you need any help in the future, we are always there to help you, sir.
Obviously, I need.
Thank you, sir, for the introduction. Participants, please note that the question, if you all have any questions, the raised hand option can be utilized. Um, we are privileged to have with us Assistant Professor Aniket Murajkar to introduce our resource person for today, Dr. Kumar Garag. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Andre. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. It is my esteemed pleasure to introduce Dr. Anilkumar Garag. Dr. Anilkumar Garag is a chartered engineer, has an MBA degree, qualified company secretary, with a PhD in finance, with over 2 decades experience in stock markets, investment banking, and management education. He has done extensive research in financial derivatives. He has worked as a consultant with an AFC CIZ affiliate as a trainer for farmer producer companies and has assisted in forming and managing FPOs and FPCs. He has been associated with top NGOs in this field. He has contributed articles in Kannada, English, and Marathi newspapers. His articles have appeared in various dailies like Economic Times Mumbai, Tarun Bharat Belgaum, Business Line, Janatavani, and Prajavani. He has traveled to various international destinations like Hong Kong, Nigeria, Mauritius, and Nepal for presenting papers and participating in conferences. He has published 3 books and several research papers in revered national and international journals as well. He has supervised 5 PhD students who have been awarded their doctorates in the field of financial markets, and he has been active in helping startups set up their businesses in the field of financial services, wealth management, and pre-engineered buildings. Thank you, sir, and over to you now, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Sorry, sir.
It's a
Sorry.
great pleasure.
Yes. Thank you. I'm so sorry, sir. I interrupted you. I'll just give a short disclaimer to the participants.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Aniket, for the introduction. The participants, please note that I'll repeat it again. You can use your raise hand feature. At the bottom of your screen, there's a small panel. You can use the raise hand feature if you have any questions to ask during the Q&A session. Also, another discussion to be made is that at the end of the session, please wait back because there will be a detailed explanation as to how to go about with the feedback form. So please wait back. Over to you, sir.
How much time do I have?
Sir, you have another 1 hour.
1 hour.
Yes, sir.
So we keep around 15 to 20 minutes for discussion
Okay.
and maybe 40 minutes for your session.
Okay. Done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So let me share the screen. Yeah. I hope my slide is visible.
Yes, very much.
Okay, the topic for today,
Yes, sir.
the topic that has been assigned to me today is problem-based teaching. And where does this come from? This comes from a very popular theory, that is Dale Edgar's cone of learning theory, which says that 90% of what people do uh, is remembered. 70% of what people write and say is remembered. 50% of what they see or hear is remembered. 30% of what they see is remembered. 20% of what they hear is remembered. And 10% of what they read is remembered. Um, this is the basis on which the entire premise of doing this problem-based teaching um, rests on. This is also um, connected to the Bloom's taxonomy, where we start with the top of this pyramid and then end up at the end of the bottom of the pyramid. Well, I have written there. I have also written that is it a myth or reality? Because if you Google Dale Edgar's cone of learning these days, you find there are so many videos which say that this is a myth. Sorry, and a lot of these puritanical people keep saying that the reality is something else. That unless you read, you will not remember, kind of thing. But anyway, uh, there is a school of thought that learning by doing is the best way of learning. So let's get on with it. Let's see how do we make students learn. Since this is a faculty development program, the whole emphasis is on how do we make students learn. And before that, we do a little bit of theory. Let's see what this problem-based learning is all about. Problem-based. I'm talking about problem-based learning because I'm talking about being student-centric. Well, first thing is this is student-centered. We are interested in knowing whether the student learns or not, and focuses on critical thinking. We try to stimulate critical thinking among students and try to throw problems at them so that they come out with answers. And the most important of them all is it encourages collaboration and self-directed learning. Um, we are all in the Indian education system. We are all so tuned to teacher-centric learning, teacher coming to the class and delivering some learning. There is this regular joke, which says that teaching is nothing but transfer of notes from the teacher's notebook to the student's notebook without passing through both their heads. Well, those were the olden times. Nowadays, things have changed. People have become very uh, savvy in teaching as well as in learning. Well, so this is. I will not spend too much time on this theory and things like that because I plan to do some directed, example-based approach, so that when you go back from this session, you will say, okay, this is where I can apply uh, problem-based learning. So that let's do some application. But before that, let's also look at why use PBL. Yeah, it develops deeper understanding, enhances critical thinking, builds teamwork, prepares students for the real world challenges. Today I was speaking to one of my colleagues. I was telling him what I had encountered some time back. I met one professor in from UK who had come to our university, and he was telling us how engineering is taught in UK. This is the University of Cranfield, which happens to be one of the topmost universities in UK, well known for production technology and engineering sciences. They were. The professor was telling me, 1 minute. I'll just switch off my video because I think I will otherwise be using a lot of bandwidth. Um, yeah. The professor was telling me that they have the engineering students have 6 classes per week. We all talk of 24 credits and 24 classes per week and things like that. Here was a professor was telling me that the students are expected to attend 6 classes per week. Each semester is given as a project. So all the students are given the books. They have to read those books, and the teachers come to the class to clarify certain doubts, to explain certain concepts. But the students are expected to read and work on the problem that is given. The first semester of engineering, they were asked to design a cantilever. In my first semester of engineering, for the first year of engineering, I learned subjects like applied mechanics, engineering drawing, etc. And here I find that the first time, and of course, I learned physics, I learned chemistry, mathematics, mechanical engineering, and things like that. But here we have this school giving one simple problem, saying that you have to design a steel cantilever, a balcony, basically. For those who are not from engineering field would understand, a balcony. So you have to design a balcony which can withstand a certain amount of weight. That was the assignment, and students are expected to learn their mathematics, learn their physics, learn their applied mechanics, learn engineering drawing, and come up with the design and make a presentation at the end of the semester. That's how the first semester went. Second semester, since they were supposed to learn some avionics, some thermodynamics, and uh, all these things, uh, basically thermodynamics, um, fluid mechanics, and avionics, they were supposed to design one cardboard aeroplane uh, in a wind tunnel. There's supposed to be a cave, long cave, which has uh, laminar flow wind happening there. So they are supposed to run that um, aeroplane in that wind tunnel, and also they are supposed to also run it on the ground. So here is the challenge. The challenge is to read up. The challenge is to assume things, assume what are the parameters, then learn all the physics that is required in making that aircraft, learn all the mathematics that is required in making that aircraft, and then make it, and to show that it works. So the proof of concept comes at the end. That is the kind of teaching and learning that happens elsewhere. But we need to do a lot of things to get into that mold. Anyway, so that's what PBL is all about. So how does it work? The students are given a real world problem. Then students will sit and brainstorm and do problem analysis. They'll do some research, investigation, develop solutions, and reflect on the learning process. This is also being done for the last 10 years. You must have heard a lot of these things called hackathons. Uh, after 2014, this hackathon has become the buzzword. Every engineering college, AICT has been trying to do hackathons everywhere. And I thought we should do a business hackathon also. So I think principal sir, if since you are talking about doing some student-oriented things, let's think about doing a hackathon for business students. That would be an excellent way of teaching students.
It's a good idea. It's a good idea. Let us reflect on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So now, what is the role of teachers and students? Teachers basically become facilitators, guides. They provide resources and scaffolding so that people don't fall, and encourage exploration and critical inquiry. The students are active participants. They are self-directed learners and collaborators. I'm not spending too much time on these um, simple slides. Let's go to examples. This is where the whole crux lies. One of the problems of this hackathon can be like this: develop a marketing strategy for a real or a hypothetical product. So you give a scenario, you say a company is launching a new eco-friendly product and needs a marketing strategy to reach millennials. Task is that students will collect the data, analyze market trends, identify target audiences, create promotional strategies, propose a detailed marketing campaign. When we talk about detailed marketing campaign, the students will also come up with a budget. In the scenario, a budget is also placed in front of the students, saying that this is the budget given for this launch. And based on that budget, based on that geography, based on that on those constraints, the students then come out with a marketing strategy for either a real product. If we get some sponsor to do that, we give the real product only, or we give an hypothetical product if there's no sponsor. This can be done maybe something like you give some time for market research, some time for studying, sometimes for you give ample time so that people get time to do the study. It's not you give it to and you ask for it tomorrow. Maybe you get, if somebody wants to do some kind of primary data collection, then you would like to give them some more time, not too much. Maybe this entire thing can run for fortnight or so. That way, the kind of skills developed by the students are enormous, because they'll be doing it uh, on their own. They'll be soiling their hands, and therefore they'll be coming out with uh, good a good plan, and of course they'll present it properly too. So this is one example of doing a kind of problem based learning. There's another example. A local bakery wants to expand its operations to new locations but has a limited budget. Now, the earlier one was a holistic one. This can be a financial one. Student assess the financial viability of the expansion, analyze market demographics, develop an actionable business plan. We rely on individual, realistic numbers, realistic assumptions, so that the students get a feel of what happened there. We've tried this earlier. In fact, this exact scenario I have tried while teaching. The advantage that I had was we had a local guy who already owns a bakery. So we had enough inputs from the bakery owner telling us what kind of costs, what kind of materials, what are the challenges in getting those materials. Why brown bread? Why white bread? Why sandwich bread? What challenges are there? How brown bread breaks, so that you put in a lot more gluten into brown bread, kind of thing. So many things. So you get into technicalities. You get to learn new things. You get to learn what kind of challenges these people have, and then what locality wants what kind of bread, what locality wants what kind of cake, etc. It's a great challenge. It's a great learning that students get. They also understand the theory behind it, the logic behind it, etc. So it has worked out very nicely. It has worked out fantastically for students to understand financial analysis, budgeting, market analysis, and decision making on their own without the help of um, you know you fall back on theory in the when they make a presentation. You fall back on theory and then give them some time for reflection and explain some theory to them, but the kind of ideas they come up, phenomenal. Another interesting thing done is the retail company wants to improve its CSR profile, needs ideas for community engagement programs. So we have this DMARC here, we have in Devanhalli in Bangalore, we have DMARC here, which is a go-to place for all people in Devanhalli because that's the only thing there available. So students proposed CSR initiatives. They say that okay, you want to get in more people who are cost conscious, then you need to do these kinds of CSR. A lot of new ideas, and then what kind of how much money to give out to to the customer, how to appease the customer, how to where do you draw the line, what kind of ethical line can you draw? Are you going to bribe the customer or just appease him or get him to the store? How do you get him to the store? All these kinds of things. And uh, what kind of do you get into education? Do you get into environmental issues? Do you if you get into education, will you be able to sell your products? If you do environmental education, will you be able to sell single-use plastic which is used in the store? So, and all these kinds of dilemmas that come up. So, do you practice what you preach? Do you don't practice what you preach, and things like that? And then that gives them gives students a idea of, well, um, every problem is not just a problem. There are 10 sides to a problem. When we say uh, in Chanakya, we usually talk of the Indian way of looking at things, and then we always say das disha. All north, south, east, west, and northeast, north. All these 8 directions, and up and down. So the z-axis also. So the students are made to think in all 10 directions and then take a call on what kind of solution they could provide. This is this is an hypothetical thing, not done in our daily life, but this was a case that was discussed, like Ola scooters blowing up, and that's a crisis situation. And there is a PR crisis due to the product defect. People, the Ola scooter blowing up, or the nano car catching fire. So the students are required to create a communication and recovery plan to see how to regain customer trust and mitigate reputational damage. So that's another interesting exercise that can be given. Helps in understanding communication strategy, problem solving, risk management, etc. Uh, well, this is a daily issue happening with Amazon, with delivery, and nowadays new logistics companies like DP World, KMC Logistics, and all have chipped in. And e-commerce business is already facing these efficiencies. If you happen to see, if you happen to buy something from Amazon, you find that products get shipped right from Gurgaon to your place. Sometimes it takes a week's time for a product to come. Sometimes you place a product order in the morning, and the same day the product is delivered. So there are efficiencies and inefficiencies in the supply chain. So the students then analyze the supply chain process, identify bottlenecks, suggest cost-effective solutions. Um, so whether there is some work for AI to see that who is the nearest vendor, and whether vendors can be shuffled and things like that. So a lot of vendors are selling the same product. So whether AI will be able to rank them properly and give them the best kind of give the customer the best kind of solution. Or That's that's what we look at. So we do operational analysis, logistics planning, cost optimization. Students suggest that uh, the same product, if it can be delivered locally, let the local vendor deliver it, and the difference in price uh, can be paid by Amazon, and that was amazing actually. If the Gurgaon vendor is selling at, let's say, 100 rupees, the local vendor is selling at 120 rupees. The student says, well, let the local vendor sell it for 100 rupees. 20 rupees can be compensated by either Amazon or the vendor who's able to sell it at 100. So no, there is a give and take. There's a balance transfer that can happen, and very interesting, very innovative kind of ideas that come up when you are doing optimizing our supply chain operations. That's the kind of out of box thinking that students come up with. They say, why do we need to look at road and payload and things like that? Let's look at the problem in a different way completely. So that's something that happened with this problem based teaching. Well, this is something which every startup, every business nowadays is looking at. How to boost online presence, how to attract more customers. And students are very good at doing this. They design social media campaign on Facebook, on Insta, on Snapchat, on Reddit, and looking at what kind of people are there. They've already figured out that Facebook is for old people, Insta is for younger ones. The youngest ones use Reddit and Snapchat, etc. They're well versed in all these kinds of things, so they'll be able to do excellent work on this. But uh, we can insist that they base all this information on data. So how to collect data, digital marketing data, and then use analytics, uh, use dashboards, use Tableau, use all analytical um, you know tools, Excel, etc., and then come up with uh, some concrete answers for all this, not just something in the air. So launching a social media campaign got converted into a data analytics kind of class. It started off saying, as when we started off, we said this is just a social media campaign and things like that. So people came up with their own Insta posts, what they want to write on Reddit and what they want to post on Facebook, etc. Some of them came up with reels on to be inserted in gaming platforms and all. And slowly, we moved it to analytics. We moved it to data. We said, okay, how many people, how many users, how many clicks, what all the kinds of numbers. And then once we started running numbers, students started realizing, yes, what positioning is and where to position what kind of things, what kind of people um, use what kind of people play what kind of games, what age people, what demography plays what games, what demography uses what social media, etc. It's basically a very interesting hack that can work. And this brings in a lot of insights from the younger generation. They'll also be interested because they're using social media day in and day out. So, and they show a lot of enthusiasm in participating in these things. Well, as I've been teaching finance, we do a lot of these things. Renewable energy, financial, environmental, market impacts, of course, financial modeling, see this capital budgeting, and then all these kinds of things. Uh, we ask them, we say, okay, we give 2 3 different scenarios and say, okay, if A is taken up, this is what you get. If B, let me show you on the Excel something like this. Um, all these products, all these investments are 20 lakh uh, rupees only, a small solar project, and you see that these are the cash flows, basic capital budgeting, basically. So, you ask them to rank based on IRR, you're ranking based on payback period, ranking on based on probability index. It keep changing numbers and then make them do the calculations and say, okay, which one to take for, which one to do, which one not to do, kind of thing. That's a very simple kind of a thing. I would like to also share with you uh, another very interesting thing that can be done as a problem-based learning is this. When you teach derivatives, you can say that, okay, this is um, strike price and that's the premium. This is picked up from the market. So you take the strike price and the premium, and if you buy a call option, what happens when the price is at different points, and then the payoff graph for that. Similarly, the buying and selling of put, the payoff graph for that. Then straddle, where you buy call and buy a put of the same strike price, and what happens individually, what happens in the long straddle, what happens. So you look at the combined payoff as well as the individual payoffs. So this is the 2960 is the price of Reliance on 19th August 2024, and this is what happened. 2916 was the price, of course, and this is the call price, this is the put price, and you show. Um, Not just showing, but you ask them to calculate this and then try to find out what they have done. So then again, same, a short straddle, uh, a short strangle, and then a long strangle, all these kinds of examples where students are asked to calculate on their own, sit together and do it, and then present it uh, in front of the teacher, so that the teacher then takes a call and says, okay, this can be done like this. So this is another way of using the same scenario planning for risk management also. Well, a retail chain is experiencing declining sales due to poor customer satisfaction. So you ask students to make a customer survey, analyze feedback, propose improvements in surveys, product offerings, or store layout. So they understand, you know, they get first-hand experience of customer analysis, innovation, and service design. That way, uh, it makes students more confident, comfortable to solve problems, solve real-time problems. Well, uh, so those were the examples. The common challenges where one is time management. We ask students to do it for within 15 days. Some people take a month's time, especially when data collection is there from the market. Um, Sometimes it happens, and sometimes we got a lot of group dynamic issues, lot of fights, And well, that also teaches them conflict resolution. So I would, in fact, I encourage students to have disagreements so that they understand how disagreements can be faced and conflicts can be resolved. Um, yeah, one difficulty is there, that is the difficulty in assessing learning. When especially when you have large groups, five people groups, six people groups, you don't know whether all the six have learned equally or not, whether all of them have participated equally or not. The one who's presenting, is he the one who's worked hard, or the one who's sitting quietly not presenting is the one who has worked hard? That's a question that always comes up. So these common challenges are there. Um, but of course, we can develop rubrics for that, for peer, and of course, peer evaluation is one more thing. You ask the uh, group members themselves to rate their teammates. You also ask other group members to rate them. Um, Group dynamics, you either do team building or you let them do the form, storm, norm, perform on their own, and they will perform, basically. Um, Whatever clear guidelines, timelines we give, there are issues of time management, obviously. I don't know, maybe that's how the nation is built. सब चलता है, एक 15 दिन लेट हुआ तो क्या होगा, एग्जाम तो बाद में है, और 15 दिन है एग्जाम को, तब तक प्रेजेंटेशन हो जाएगा. These issues are there, but we can always um, overcome these issues. Well, that's it. I think that's my 40 minutes. Uh, so conclusion, problem-based learning fosters critical skills for the 21st century learners. It helps. We find it, we find it very interesting that students learn more when they are asked to do it on their own. And we can also bridge the gap between theory and practice. We can always say that this is the theory that we were talking about when they practice. So that's how it is. Thank you. Let's take some questions.
Sir, can I go with the first question?
Yes, please.
Look, problem-based project on one hand, and completion of the syllabus as well as the final examination on the other hand.
Yeah.
How to reconcile these two things?
Okay. In my
For example,
yeah.
Yeah,
In my
when the students are
yeah.
When the students are attempting a project,
Yeah.
you said they will be learning a lot of things. That's fine, but then they won't be learning everything, all the concepts that are there, all the theories that are there in the syllabus, in the course syllabus. And in the examination, we have to ask questions on covering the entire syllabus. Now, at one hand, we have to conduct the problem-based learning project. On the other hand, we have to prepare them for the examination.
Yeah.
How these two things can together go?
I would like to share with you my. I've been teaching, very interestingly, I've been teaching market research as well as markets research. I've been teaching stock market research as well as basic marketing research. When I take up this marketing research, when I teach both the subjects for that matter, what I do is, especially when it comes to these subjects like marketing research, I create those teams on the first day of the class and ask them to identify their problems, identify what kind of survey, what kind of project they would like to do. And then I start off with research design. As and when I finish my portion of research design, I ask them to come and present what their research proposal. Then we have a debate on the research proposal and say, okay, this is okay, this is not okay, this you do this, you don't do this, kind of thing. Once the research proposal is you know fixed, then I go back and start teaching on questionnaire design, on on data collection techniques, etc. So by the time I finish that, the students come back with their questionnaire design. So we discuss the questionnaire design. We also discuss how they are whatever sampling theory we have taught, and what sampling theory they are going to use, kind of thing. So then that's the mid project presentation. So one is the proposal presentation, then the mid project presentation. Then they go back to collect data. While they are collecting data, we do coding sheet, we do hypothesis testing. And in sense, we teach hypothesis testing, coding sheet, um, data consolidation, all these kinds of things, and all kinds of data analysis. And then they come back. While they are collecting data, they are analyzing data, and then they come back for the final presentation. During the final presentation, they by the time of the final presentation, the syllabus is over, so that they can use the same thing to teach to present. This is how marketing research I've been teaching last 15-20 years. Then when it came to investment analysis and portfolio management, I did the same thing. Um, I give them companies on the first day, and then we start off with the theory. As and how the theory progresses, the presentations keep happening in between. So you break down the project into 3, 4, 5 stages. For example, for in an investment analysis, portfolio management kind of a subject, you give the companies, and then you start with economy analysis, industry analysis, and then ask them to make a presentation on the industry analysis, on the industry of their company. And then then you go back, you do a company analysis, financial analysis, etc. Then you ask them to come back and make the company analysis, financial analysis presentation. And then you do market, you do technical analysis and all. Then you ask them to come and do the presentation on that. So in stages, this is how this practical problem we have tried to solve. Especially when I was working with colleges which were affiliated to the university system. Now, of course, since in Chanakya we have a completely autonomous way of doing things. We don't have uh, we don't have summative examinations. We don't have final exam as such. The teacher is in charge of the students. The teacher is in charge of the subject, is of the course. So the teacher decides what can be done, and at the end of just like an American system, you have a session plan, you have a course outline, you distribute the course outline and say this is how we are going to do it for the next 3 months, and these are the deliverables. So that way, a lot of academic freedom is there now. So it of course helps us to bring in a lot of practical work into the subject. That
Thank you,
said,
sir.
of course, there are issues. There are issues. I know that there are bound to be an exam kind of a thing at the end. And once there is an exam, obviously, syllabus coverage is a very important thing that has to complete. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Does anybody else have any questions? You all can please use the raise hand option on your screen and you all can ask a question. I will give you all permissions to do so.
it seems that nobody has
I-
any question.
I'd like to do a small, quick poll. Let's see.
Sure, sir.
A host can post questions. I cannot do this.
Pardon, sir?
Uh, can you make me a host or something?
Sure, sir. I can make you a co-host.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. I have added you as a co-host. Please accept the request. If you can.
Is there a request? No, there's no request. I think it has come straight away.
Sorry, sir. It's automatic. Sorry,
It's
my
automatic.
bad.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. Can you utilize the chat box now, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have put up a question asking, do you use kindly respond.
Sir, the question cannot be seen, sir.
Cannot be seen? You know, it can be seen. People are answering.
Oh, I'm sorry. I cannot.
I already have 5 votes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Ma'am, Dr. Geeta has raised a hand. She has a question, I think so. So,
Sure,
ma'am,
please.
you can unmute your mic and you can ask your question.
Hello,
Yeah, I can hear you.
are you getting, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, actually, I'm not getting the poll, and I just discussed that affiliated college have lots of problems.
Yeah.
We have a very little time for the completing the course syllabus, and practically we are not able to give the market survey or different type of the project to the students. So we are lacking here in college.
Ma'am, I have also worked in affiliated colleges for 20 years. We have to find time in this entire thing. We have to, structure the course in such a way that survey also happens in between.
Actually, in first semester or semester, very less time we are getting. Admissions are till September end, and then after in December the exam has started. So for completion of the syllabus, I think it's a very difficult.
I understand.
Yeah.
Then I think you can do something like a hackathon for a 3-day hackathon or something like that in between. I think middle of the semester.
Yeah.
you can do something like
Trying. Sir, from where we can get the poll?
that. I think the poll is
Ma'am, sorry, sir. Sorry for interrupting you.
yeah, not a
Yeah.
Ma'am, if you click on the bottom of your screen to the
Yeah.
right hand side, there'll be a triangle, a square, and a circle. There's a symbol there. If you click on that, it's named activities. So if you click on that, you will
Yeah.
have a poll section. You will have a few options, and you will have a poll section there,
Activities.
and then you will have a poll section. It has a green symbol on it.
Activities. Yes.
Ma'am, have you got it?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Only one? Acha, theek hai. Okay, I'm getting.
I just have two. First question I had put. Now I put another question.
Hmm. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. We do a lot of these simulation kind of things. We give a small case and say this is you run this company, and then we run it. First quarter ho gaya, abhi you give your financial results. Then again we run the second quarter. Every quarter is 2 hours, and in a day they do something like 3 quarters or 4 quarters, and then at the end of the day we decide, we say, okay, this team has done well, it has made the highest profits, highest sales, etc. So that there is some simulation that helps students understand how their decisions affect their financial results. So this is basically a sales game, sales and marketing game, but people understand that, okay, whatever decision I take in marketing or sales affects my bottom line, my top line, and things like that. So that's one more thing that uh, can be done. So that's what I wrote. I said, if you could hosting such a program would help students understand well, okay, that what they're learning is really impacting their really impacting the business. Smita madam has raised hands. Nice to see you, ma'am, for after a long time.
Good evening, sir.
Very good evening. How are you?
I'm good. It's nice to, I've attended your couple of sessions, but that was ages ago. And now I think it's almost more than 10 years since we have interacted. Your presentation was excellent. I did have some issues with the connectivity, but nonetheless, I managed to catch most of your important statements.
Yes.
Yeah, I would. I'm just making an observation or rather a suggestion because of we all teachers face this issue of want of time. So we are always, rushing. Always having a paucity of time.
Yeah.
So in that context, when we talk about problem solving, maybe some of the teachers could join hands, for instance, HR, finance, marketing, and then give them a common issue where they could study the issue from different, multi-pronged approach sort of a thing. I don't know if this is what you had already mentioned or I missed out.
This is an excellent idea. I think this is a nice thing to do. Since there is a lot of group dynamics involved, there is a lot of
Right,
other things involved.
right.
So I think the HR teacher can pitch in and say, okay, this is what team building is. This is what this is what HR aspects are, kind of thing. So that way, 2, 3, then we have time, because then we can combine those 3 teachers classes, and it's a finance teacher, marketing teacher, and HR teacher.
Yes, yes.
I think
So that our,
yeah.
yes, so that our issues are solved collectively, like
Yes,
a lot of synergy taking place. Yeah.
Each one of us
Thank you
can
so much.
come in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thanks a lot.
That's a good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Mike.
Yes, sir. We have also sent the same poll on the WhatsApp group
Okay.
for the participants. We have got 18 votes as yes to the question: do you use project-based teaching in your class?
That's very
And
nice.
0 votes on no.
Okay.
And on the second question, that is, would you like to host program on simulation for better learning? We have got 14 votes of yes and 0 on no.
Here we have 11 notes favoring the same thing. I think this is one more thing that we can do together. Yeah. Ramrai Naik wanted to say something. Would you like to comment?
Yes. Hello, sir. Thank you for your presentation. Sir, I belong to political science discipline.
Okay.
I want to know from you whether you have explored with any political science problem dealing with maybe probably Indian politics.
No, I have
Any
not done. No, I have not done that because I have never taught something like that. I have taught finance and marketing research kind of things. But in our university, certain activities these people do. These people from political science department, they are doing some activities. One of the activities that they are doing is every month they come up with a newsletter, and in that newsletter they comment on the happenings in the political spectrum. Um, they do opinion pieces. They do a lot of with something like 8 pages of a newsletter. They come up with. They write on political happenings, and they also conduct debates. This is what they have been doing. I'm not sure whether that
Sir,
qualifies as
just
problem-based
adding
learning or something like that. But well, this is what they have been doing.
just adding one more point to that, sir. We have tried a few times,
Uh-huh.
but what happens is in terms of assessment, how do
Uh-huh.
you evaluate when you have completely lot of interpretation to those problems? How
That
do
is
you know?
that is the problem. We need to we need to have a rubric which says that identification of a problem you give so much marks. Looking at various issues, um, various ways in which you look at the problem, that then you give so many marks. And uh, for suggesting us one solution, you give so many marks. If you suggest two solutions, you give so many marks. So rubrics you have to be very careful about. Uh, if you are objective enough and say that okay, we will not look at their opinions, we will not look at their what they are talking about, but we'll only look at how much learning they have brought to the table, how many new ideas they have brought to the table. Then I think we can always do a good job of evaluating it.
Okay,
I hope.
thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Uh, Danisa Menezes. Yeah.
Ma'am, this
Praneeth
is
Patil also.
yes, Ma'am Danica and Ma'am Sir Praveen. I have given you all access to be contributor. You all have raised your hand. You all can now access your mic and your video. If you all would like to ask a question, you all can unmute your mic and do so.
Everybody can send messages also. So questions are also welcome on the chat box. It's not just questions. All faculty members. So obviously, you may be having some comments also. Comments are also welcome, not only questions. If you find something that you disagree with, you're always welcome. Or you'd like to add something, add to the value of the presentation, you're welcome. I was just sharing my experience. So obviously, you could share your experience.
So I doubt we have any more.
Okay.
A small disclaimer to all the participants. Please wait back at the end of the call because we are going to have a live demonstration on how to go about the feedback form. So please wait back for the till the end. As we wrap up this insightful session, we invite any participants here to please stay back. Um, the classroom code is also sent to you all on the WhatsApp group, so you all can access the recordings of the class of the sessions that are posted on the Google Classroom. We also extend a sincere thanks to all of our participants for your active involvement and enthusiasm, which have contributed to a success of this program. A special acknowledgement goes to our partner institutions, Chanakya University, Bangalore, Choice College of Arts and Commerce, Pune, Swami Sajanand College of Commerce and Management, Gujarat, and Dempe College of Arts and Science, Goa, for the continued support and collaboration. Before we conclude, we kindly request the participants to take out a moment to fill the feedback form. Your valuable inputs help us improve and tailor our program to better meet your needs. The deadline to complete this form is November 19th, that is tomorrow, by 8 p.m. Thank you for your cooperation. I wish this was the time where we give you a quick teaser for tomorrow's speaker, but Mr. Garag has just conducted the final session for this faculty development program. It really has been a week of development, learning, and growth. We've learned about flipped classrooms, where we bridge gaps between students and teachers. We've learned about film-based teaching and how we visually can carry forward teaching principles. And today, we learned about how efficient we can be with AI. We also have been educated about problem-based learning in management education. I hope each and every session has been inspiring and engaging for each and every one of you. Something as radical as wanting to revamp your entire style of teaching, or even if it was something as small as just noticing an opportunity for improving you could make in your personal life. We truly hope this past week has been able to make a positive difference in your lives. I hope we haven't interrupted your regular evening walks with your dog, your peaceful reading time, or your focused exam paper corrections. So for one last time, on behalf of Dempo Charities Trust, Srinivasa Sinai Dempo College of Commerce and Economics, I extend a heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Kumar Garag for his invaluable session on problem-based learning
Thank you.
in management education.
Thank you.
Expertise and practical examples have left us with valuable tools to enhance our approach to teaching and learning. We are extremely grateful for your presence and participation throughout the event. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
I would like the participants to please wait back, as we will just have a short demonstration and a detailed demonstration on how to go about with the feedback form.
Thank you so much. I'll be signing off. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Okay. Um,
Oh,
Manu,
you'll have to
would-
remove me from the host. Otherwise, okay.
okay, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Manu, for the presentation. Okay, so here we have the feedback form. It's very simple. Or you'll just have to, participants, please note, you'll have to fill in your email ID so that we get your email IDs, your full name. We would like you to add your prefix that is professor, assistant professor, or doctor professor, or doctor uh, before your name, and add your full name to it. Your email address needs to be filled up, your contact number, and your college or your institute name. That is the first page. We shall move into the second page. At the second page, we will have, you all will need to fill in all the slots available on the Google form so that you all can move into the next page, as all the questions are required questions. The next page has the resource persons for each of the sessions. You all would need to rate them on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the most and 1 being the least, on the following parameters: the depth of knowledge of the session, the relevance to the topic, and the delivery of content by the resource person. That follows for all the 7 resource speakers. Please note that you'll need to rank each of the resource persons so that you can move on to the next page and the next section as they are required questions. The next part of the feedback form is a test in which you all are, sorry, can you all see the screen, everybody? Yes, okay. The next section is the test of the feedback form, where you are given a small test as per how the sessions were conducted, a small Q&A session from which the sessions which were conducted. So you'll have to answer the test, which will then lead you all to each section is about each session that has been conducted. Please note again that all the questions are required for you to fill, and y'all cannot skip out on any of the questions. Once y'all fill in all the questions, y'all have to click on submit. There's a small box that is submit. You'll have to click on the submit box, and you'll be given points as per how y'all have answered the questions. After y'all submit the feedback form, you'll then be emailed a copy of your certificate. That's it for everybody.
Shall I add one more thing? When you are entering your name in the feedback form at the top, please enter your name correctly. And whichever prefix you would like to add, please add as it is, because that field directly goes to the attainment certificate which we are going to send you. So if you have used your nickname will come in the certificate. Obviously, you don't want that to happen. If you want to be called as doctor, please write Dr. Dot, so that clearly goes into the certificate. That's all what I wanted to add to the participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining the sessions. We hoped it has been a lovely week for all of you.
Thank you so much. I have no words to thank my student community here of 4 members, Manu, and all of you. All of you. Vaishnavi, obviously Vaishnavi there. And all of you have been of great help to us. And then y'all really show the spirit of oneness.
Thank you so much.
And this is what we expected. A good BBA program.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for your resourceful inputs. Thank you all the participants for joining us in these odd hours every day, despite your busy schedules. Best wishes to all of you.
Thank you so much.